Hello and welcome to Thunderbird Blades. My name's Neil and today I'm excited to explore this brilliant little blade from Bestech, the Reticulan by Elijah Isham, one of the best and most beautiful examples of microknife design I have ever seen. And for those not in the know, Isham is an evil genius who thinks up fantastical alien-esque looking designs in his subterranean lair. Bestech is one of China's premium knife manufacturers. Put these two together and you get hyperknife design and Bestech quality in a super compact configuration, and all for $111. What? $111 for this little fella? That's right folks, you got to pay to play with this pretty little premium piece of pocket art. Okay, let's take a walk around the merchandise. The business end of the knife is rocking an exquisite 2-inch modified Wharncliffe blade cut from Damascus steel. And while there's a hell of a lot to love about this knife, the Damascus blade is simply stunning. Look at it. Ding dong. The blade is flat ground, has a finger choil, and a tiny thumb hole, which I think is more form over function if I'm being honest. Well, at least if your hands are bigger than a 5th grader. It's super sharp and thin behind the edge, and tapers up to a thickness of 0.12 inches at the spine. So it's nice and slicey for a small blade and should handle light EDC tasks with ease. The blade is perfectly centered straight out of the box. I've got to say Bestech's QC has always been on par in my opinion with the likes of Wee and Kaiser. The action on the Reticulan is ridiculously good. It's riding on bearings and is super snappy. It actuates like a taser Jack Russell. Whatever that means. I don't know. Moving on down the knife, we have these gorgeous green anodized machine titanium scales and back spacer, both sporting long sweeping lines. The aesthetic is pure Isham and I love it. I especially like the way the contouring captures and reflects the light. Look at that, it's quite pretty. On the flip side, the green anno-milled titanium theme carries over to the pocket clip. It's clear to me that Elijah has put some thought into this design. The lines of the clip flow with the lines of the knife, making it feel like an integral component rather than an afterthought. It's relatively deep carry, and the good news is that the ramp sits on the scale and not on the lock bar, so there should be no pinching during deployment. Unfortunately, the bad news is that it's right-hand carry only, so it's a no-go for goofy flipsters. And finally, we have this steel reinforced titanium lock bar, which locks up around 30% and is rock solid. There's also a subtle shallow access ramp on the show side, which makes disengaging the lock bar mechanism easy peasy. Gotta love it. Okay, time for a quick size comparison. Let's bring in an American icon, the Chris Reeve Large Sebenza 31. Check out my video on this knife, it's flipping awesome. And another icon in its own right, the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog. Overall length on the Reticulan from tip to tail is 5 inches. Looking at this lineup, it's fair to say it sits squarely in that small size category. And she's coming in at a fighting weight of 1.25 ounces, which is ridiculously light. Maybe a little too light. Now don't get me wrong, I like a lightweight knife just as much as the next person, but I also like to know that it's in my pocket, if that makes sense. Alright, the ergos on the Reticulan are great for a micro knife. Most, if not all of the outer edges on the scales have been chamfered, making it quite comfortable in hand. I can get a 3-fingered grip on the scales, and the curvature of my thumb naturally couples with the curvature of the blade spine. It gets better though. When using the finger choil, I can choke up and get a full 4-fingered grip on this knife, which is awesome for fine detail work. Overall, for a knife that's dripping with form, it also has a fair share of function. Okay, final thoughts. The Reticulan is a pretty piece of pocket art. It's a little knife with a big personality and an even bigger price tag. Is it worth it? I think so, but I'm biased being an Isham Bestech fanboy. The lines, the material choices, the manufacturing quality, it's all world class. If you like the knife but don't like the size, no worries. Bestech have a larger version with a 3.25 inch blade. But be warned, it comes with an even bigger price tag. At the end of the day, I think this cool little compact cutter truly epitomizes the best of Isham and Bestech, and will serve as a fabulous fifth pocket knife for anyone. Alright, that's it for today. If you like the video and want to see more, please click the like and subscribe buttons. If you think this sucks, you're always welcome to click that dislike button twice. Thanks so much for your time, stay safe, and as always, keep flipping awesome knives.